Somebody by the name of Infamous Gouda recently wrote in my comments section, "Why do you support InfoWars? Take them out of all research and you'll find more facts." Okay, I wrote it down, and the reason I support InfoWars is because Alex Jones could say just about anything. I don't think there's anything off the table. Other reasons, I enjoy my First Amendment right. I like it a lot. The show's entertaining, and Jones reminds me of my youngest brother. And to give you a little bit of story on my youngest brother, when he was about 5 years old, this little tow-headed blonde kid in kindergarten, they used to, back in the day, they used to actually ask you, maybe they still do this, I haven't seen it in public schools too much, but what do you want to be when you grow up? And in kindergarten, they'd have you draw a picture of what you wanted to be. They might put it on a little mobile hanging from the ceiling. The teacher would ask you in front of the class, and then later on, parents would come in and see everything. And so when it was that career day or whatever they called it, the teacher had asked my little brother in front of the class what he wanted to be when he grew up, and he said, a doctor. And she said, well, what kind of doctor, honey, And he said, a proctologist. And I remember my mom was dispatched to the school so quick, and she was a school teacher too. So, but our whole family laughed about it, actually, because he knew what proctologist meant, and he was kind of making a smart joke. But at any rate, Alex Jones reminds me of him a little bit. But that's not the biggest point here. I think the thing that we don't want to miss is the importance of shows like the Alex Jones Show or Southpark, or people like Milo, I'm not going to say his name right, Yiannopoulos, or Kanye West, is that they are repugnant. A lot of times to most of us. But they serve a purpose. They preserve our freedoms. They're protecting the rest of us. They're keeping it safe for the rest of us to express our opinions, because any topic that they hit is pretty much safe for us to talk about. So I'm going to illustrate my point here. On January 17th of 1998, the Drudge Report broke a story alleging that Newsweek had purposely covered up information proving Bill Clinton, then the sitting president of the United States, was having a sordid affair with a 22-year-old intern in the White House. The big story here, though, it's not Monica Lewinsky. It's the fact that a credible news publication would actually purposefully block the people from the news. Okay. The big story here was not Monica Lewinsky. It's the fact that a credible news publication would actually purposefully block the public from having news. The biggest thing that we learned from this was that our politicians and our media outlets will lie. And they'll lie pathologically. So in the aftermath of the infamous Monica Lewinsky scandal, two of the most infamous modern political quotes come out of that. So right after it broke, and Bill Clinton's denying that he had an affair, he says, "I did not have sexual relations with that woman." And the other quote happened in the process of Hillary Clinton performing damage control on her public image. She famously said these words. The great story here, for anybody willing to find it and write about it and explain it, is this vast right-wing conspiracy that's been conspiring against my husband since the day he announced for president. Yeah. So, the most telling thing here is not the affair. It's the extent that both the media and the politicians will go through to tell us a lie or conceal the truth from us. Great pains were taken to weave far-flung conspiracies and spin intricate scandals of intrigue, ultimately pointing the finger back at their accusers. It taught us that the great lengths our politicians and our media will go through in order to deceive the public, when the truth would be easier, the truth would be more forgiving, and we could understand and relate to the truth more easily. We would be more forgiving. Once you understand that they're purposefully keeping things from us and they will pathologically lie to us, even if it's about something as mundane as an affair, it changes your whole worldview on any politician, on any media outlet, and what they could really be doing, It makes you want to test everything. But we might have never known that they would lie to us this way and that it would be so exposed if a scandalous Matt Drudge hadn't told us the story. We need journalists and news publications that will publish even the most outrageous or offensive content. They serve the purpose of keeping the rest of us safe. There's another lesson, too. Once Drudge broke the story, every other media outlet, one by one, was forced to step out in the light and break the story as well. So from now on, I'm going to slightly change the way that I do this YouTube channel. I'm just going to add a direction to it, which is once a week, I'm going to read off comments from my comment sections. And it's going to be a little competitive because they're going to be the best comments in their category. And I'm going to scour for these particular types of comments. Things that are repugnant, things that are overlooked, and the dissenting opinion. So the repugnant is those things which are taboo to discuss, totally politically incorrect. You should never say them. The overlooked are those things which are plain and obvious, but we forget, the Occam's razor kind of stuff. And the dissenting opinion is a person who's brave enough to write out why they believe something that's super unpopular, like maybe you believe in the Russian hacking. You think it really happened. So I'm going to read the best of them and give credit to the author. I'm going to discuss it. I'm going to debate it. I may even try to destroy their point of view or the virtues of their argument. And you can like it or hate it, because I'm going to do it anyway. Because, the faithful handful that I really enjoy reading their comments and interacting with them, it's nice if other people join in too, but if not, I think it will be a lot of fun, actually. And eventually I'd like to do call-ins. Okay, so this is why I'm going to do this, because we're more productive and useful when we diversify. The human body works because of a diversifying of purposes of the different organs in our body. Our feet have one job, our eyes have another, but we need everything to do its own separate little special purpose for the body to work together. So here's a quote. What would you think if you heard an ear say, "I'm not part of the body because I'm only an ear and not an eye"? Would that make it less a part of the body? And suppose the whole body were an eye, then how would you hear? Or if your whole body were just one big ear, how could you smell anything? Sorry guys, but this is a quote from Scripture. It's 1 Corinthians 12:16 through 18. I like to leave that out because religious nuts come out of the network, but I'm going to finish it. But that isn't the way God has made us. He made many parts for our bodies and has put each part just where He wants it. Now I'm adding my end of it. Even the smelly parts. We need assholes. So here we go. I am going to go ahead and by the way, when it comes to judging how a person behaves, I look more at how you treat service people, how you treat animals, how you treat people that have less authority than you when you think nobody's looking. And I've seen a lot of atheists who will treat a waitress better than a lot of Christians, and I base it on the individual, not on the religion. So I still think it's a good quote. At any rate, so here's the dissenting opinion of the week, but first I'm going to go ahead and read the repugnant. Somebody took the time to write this to me, so it's important to share it. Amenhotep Sequin Menaki Nahisi. I can't pronounce the name. It sounds like they're some reincarnated Egyptian pharaoh. But instead of praying, this is what they said to me. Instead of praying, why not just tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God that you racist whitey supremacist of the United States of KKK are the biggest liars, thieves, homo rapists, warmongers, genocidal maniacs that you must and will genetically annihilated, period. All in caps. You pink demented alien humanoid beast automatons. Okay, so reverse racism is not dead. Okay, so the other comment I wanted to read is from a guy by the name of Julian Peterson, and I really enjoy reading what he posts on the channel. So let's get this here. He says, the more I think about it, and by the way, he writes this in context of we're talking about Donald Trump bombing Syria and all the things that have been going on. He says, the more I think about it, I'm forming a new theory about this. The elite may have planned this from the beginning. It's possible they allowed Trump to win so they could impeach him on this fake Russian collusion story. The goal, of course, is that they can implement 1984-style censorship of everybody. Allowing Trump to win is similar to a seldom-used chess move known as sacrificing the queen. The queen is the most important piece on the board. In this case, Hillary was the queen on the board. By sacrificing her, they can impeach Trump. And that turns us into a 1984 Brave New World society where we're never again going to have to worry about, they don't have to worry about what we the people say or even think, because they can just throw us in a government re-education camp or a concentration camp. And so I asked him, if he could expand on that, and he said, sacrificing the queen is a very risky chess move. Its design is to make your opponent overconfident and make them think that they've won the game. It lures them into a trap and defeats them. In President Trump's case, they sacrificed their queen, Hillary, to let us believe that we've beaten the globalist elite. After they launch their impeachment of President Trump, they'll make dissent unlawful, treason in fact. Never again will we have a people's champion in power. If Trump is not careful, he will be knocked out of power and America will descend into a country that most resembles a combination of Orwell's 1984 and Huxley's Brave New World. I think that you may be onto something there. And because of the way they like to compartmentalize information, they wouldn't have told Donald Trump if that's what they were doing, or if that's why they were doing it. That information would not have been given to him. So, yeah, I wondered about that, because they had the polls rigged ahead of time to look like Hillary would win, and if they had said she won that night, we would have believed it. We may have questioned the legality of it, or if it was an accurate vote count, we may have questioned it, but it wouldn't have been like most people wouldn't have believed it. That means with Trump, they had to take some kind of calculated risk, meaning that, it's kind of like our politicians. They're super Machiavellian. If you're ever curious, you should read a book called The Prince. It will help you understand it. It helps me. They can do super complicated missions overseas with subterfuge and all this going on, but then at home they can't do a dang thing on domestic policy right. Well, this is commonly how it is. I mean, our roads are falling apart, but they have these complex plans for the Middle East. And so that means they're not really stupid. It means they're doing it on purpose. And if they allowed Trump in, they had to have seen a move, like Julian Peterson points out, that would win them more than even having Hillary in office. And it would be a risky move, but it would be a gamble they'd probably make. I'm not too familiar with chess. I play it with my kids sometimes, but no, I grew up with my family playing poker, real poker, for money. So that wasn't my game, but this is a very good comment. At any rate, happy Easter to everyone. Enjoy talking to you and look forward to reading your comments. Bye.